Welcome back, Omnibuds. My name is Kevin, and today I'm going to go over my top 5 comic book reads of 2025. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button. But either way, grab your cup of coffee and let's check out some books. All right, my number 5 book of the year this is interesting. I read this book twice this year. That almost never happens. Everything that I have, I intend on rereading, and that's why I keep it. But I've never read the same book twice in 1 year until that Criminal by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This story is amazing. I own them in the deluxe oversized hardcovers from Image. If you know anything about comics, you know that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips are amazing. They're probably the best comic book team that there ever was. Anything Ed Brubaker writes is amazing. I'm really looking forward to his X-Men getting an omnibus soon. I own a lot of his stuff, and he's one of my favorite writers. But Criminal is an absolute amazing story. The art in here by Sean Phillips is really cool as well. Try to show you some of that. An amazing crime story in 3 volumes. We've got a TV show coming out on Amazon Prime sometime maybe this year, maybe early next year. We don't really know. And we've been getting new stuff added into this world. A story called The Knives just came out and is available. These are still available. You can get these on IST, CGN, or Panel Bound Comics, our favorite place to buy comics. Pick this story up. My number 4 book of 2025 was a book that I had kind of held off from reading for a really long time. I've never been a big Daredevil guy, and I think part of it was kind of some fear because I knew that people really loved Daredevil, and his collected editions were widely loved and respected, and he's got no bad runs. And I guess I kind of feared, like, oh man, if I like Daredevil, I'm gonna have to get all of it. Well, that's true. But this year, for the first time ever, I read Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. This book was so good, and it's really different from a lot of Bendis's other work. So like Bendis's Spider-Man or his New Avengers or his X-Men, like real quippy, like very, fun dialogue and just kind of very Bendis-y, if you know what that means. And I love Brian Michael Bendis. He's one of my favorite authors of all time. But he took Daredevil very seriously. And this arc is dark. It really changes a lot of things for Matt Murdock. Daredevil, the art is fantastic. Really awesome story. I'm excited to get into the Brubaker stuff. And then so on and so forth. I got almost everything else. Probably need a soul reprint. But number 4 was Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis. Number 3 for 2025 is a run that I have read many times, and I reread it this year. I'm a big X-Men fan, and outside of Claremont, I don't think anyone has done the X-Men as well as Grant Morrison. This run is phenomenal. I love it. I wish he stayed on the book longer. Grant Morrison introduced so many new characters and so many new concepts to X-Men lore. I felt like he really understood the X-Men and kind of pushed them. We had art by, I think, Frank Quietly and a few other folks in here. Igor Cordy, Ethan Van Sciver, Lionel Francis Yu. Some really cool art throughout. I love this run. This will stay in my collection forever. Number 2 for 2025, I am a big Brian K. Vaughan fan. He's my favorite writer of all time. Why the Last Man is my favorite thing of all time. Ex Machina is amazing. Saga is amazing. Anything he's touched is fantastic. But for the longest time, I slept on Paper Girls. I didn't pick it up. The description didn't really do it for me. I thought, man, it's not something I'm really into. Well, I found a good deal on it, and I really wanted to round off my Brian K. Vaughan collection, so I picked up the 3 oversized hardcovers from Image, used in the cafe, and I flew through this in 3 nights. It was written so well. The pace, the dialogue, the story is so fun. really kicking myself for having slept on it for so long. I'm watching the show on, I think it's Amazon Prime, and the show is really fun too. But Brian K. Vaughan, unfortunately, is cursed, and his stuff is all doomed to be canceled. But if you have not read Paper Girls, pick it up. You can get this just about anywhere. Even in these hardcovers, they're still pretty well available. There's also a compendium that came out recently, but read Paper Girls. You'll thank me later. It wouldn't be a top 5 list without some honorable mentions. And I think I just accidentally showed you one of them. But honorable mention number 1 is Wolverine by Greg Rucka. I own this in the trade paperback Ultimate Collection. I think this will get collected in whatever Marvel ends up calling Wolverine Volume 8. And if not, it'll definitely be in Volume 9. This was only 18 or 19 issues of Greg Rucka. And it was the book was taken over by Mark Millar. But I love the Greg Rucka run. There's so many heartfelt moments in there. I felt like he really understood Wolverine. I think, having read a lot of Wolverine, I think this is probably the best standalone Wolverine story. We get art by, who do we get art by here? I don't know. You have to look it up. But the art is very cool. Show you some more of that. But yeah, Wolverine on his own, away from the X-Men. He's out in Oregon and then down in Texas, down in Mexico, just doing some Logan things. And we get really awesome covers in here as well. But yeah, hopefully this gets upgraded to a hardcover here soon, because I know this is hard to find stuff. One more honorable mention, because I didn't want to make this a top 7 video. But this year I reread one of my favorite Vertigo series of all time, DMZ. DMZ, I feel like, is a kind of a slept-on series, or underappreciated, just not talked about as much. This is done by Brian Wood and Riccardo Bercelli. The art is fantastic. I'll show you some of the art here. Brian Wood, DMZ. This is the story of America's second Civil War. Happened shortly after 9/11. And United States is at war with itself, and the island of Manhattan is a demilitarized zone. And what is it like to live there? What is it like to try to survive there? And we get this character, Matty Roth, who is accidentally finds himself stuck on the island, and trying to survive, trying to find a place to live and meet new people and just survive a war in the United States. The art's amazing. The story's amazing. Another show that was unfortunately canceled. All right, drum roll time. My number 1 read of this year absolutely blew me away. It's another Vertigo title. And for years, people had been telling me how good it was. And my thick skull, I'd read the description. I'm like, it's not really doing anything for me. It doesn't really interest me. I didn't know a lot about the writer early on, but then he did a lot of work at Marvel. But my favorite read of 2025 was Scalped by Jason Aaron and R.M. Guerra. Again, I own them in the oversized deluxe hardcover from Vertigo. This story is so good. The art is amazing. Really, if quick description of it and how I wish it was told to me years ago. This is Goodfellas if it took place on an Indian reservation in South Dakota. It's all about crime and family and, reconciling, past troubles with family and the ways you grew up in the backdrop of an Indian reservation in South Dakota. A lot of crime, a lot of drugs, and just it's all about survival. And I really enjoyed this. If you haven't read this, please do so. It's amazing. We got omnibuses of this recently, and I think those are still kind of available. But you've got to check out Scalped. Don't be like me and sit on this. So that was my top 5. Let me know. Have you read any of those books? What did you think? Let me know your top 5 reads of 2025. I'm really looking forward to 2026. I've got a lot of books in my to-read pile, and it's going to be a great year. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Leave us a like. We'll see you in 2026. Thanks, Omnibuds.
Hey, Omnibuds. Be sure to check out the Omnibuds Cafe merchandise store where you can buy mugs, t-shirts, stickers, We're using earnings to buy equipment for YouTube and to fund more giveaways. Who doesn't like giveaways? So click the link in the description and start shopping.